only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. We'll bring you the news and reviews of your favorite brews. I am Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner,
and the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
This is a slightly different episode than I ever thought we would do, and it's unfortunate that we are in this position, but we are conducting someone's exit interview from running, owning, and operating one of the best breweries if not the best brewery that we had in Southeastern Pennsylvania. We have the one, the only, you know him, you love him.
It's Ethan Buckman, and it is the best brewery in Southeastern Pennsylvania.
It is.
Still was, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing they tell you in broadcasting school is like, you can talk something up, but don't ever say it's the best unless you are ready to fight somebody on that. But I will fight someone on this. You are absolutely right. Stickman will go down in history as the best brewery in Southeastern Pennsylvania.
Because we said so, God.
Well, I mean, your beer backed it up too.
Established.
Yeah, the beer backed it up too, and that's the important thing. So we'll just come out and say it, and then we'll do the housekeeping stuff. Unfortunately, Ethan made the decision to close Stickman Brews. Steph and I and Dana were there, and Brian Mills met us there too on the last night of operation, and it was bittersweet. It was fun. It was great being with everybody. It was cool hanging out with you. And then the time rolled around, and that one last guy came in, and then he locked the doors forever.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, me, Jim, and Kate, we made the decision to close. We're still kind of working out exactly what that means. But yeah, it's tough out there, and we had a good run, and now we're doing other stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know we're going to dive into a lot of that, as much as you can legally discuss. But we're going to do the housekeeping, of course. You can follow along with all the fun and the shenanigans on all of the socials. We are at Beer Busters on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Facebook, we are Beer Busters Podcast. There's also beerbusterspodcast.com, where you can add /shop and check out all the cool merch. YouTube, we are Beer Busters Podcast, and Patreon, we are Beer Busters. You get yourself access to all the cool behind-the-scenes stuff for as little as $1 a month. And I could be mistaken, but I feel like this is actually the case. I think Ethan is probably featured multiple times in the, at least last call, but in all the bonus stuff that you can get for being a patron.
Sure, you guys had me on a lot.
Yeah,
We did. And I'm sure we will continue to do so. Well, okay. What are we all drinking? Steph, what are you drinking?
Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh.
1 second.
Steph, what are you drinking?
General Merriment, of course.
Oh, that's so good. I got some of that in my case the last time I was there to get a case. Wayne, what are you drinking?
Water.
Yeah.
Out of a Linda's Legions thermos.
Woo!
In honor of our stepmother's successful battle against leukemia.
Yes. Officially in remission. Yeah. We got to smash the mug. It was really cool. Then I took him to lunch at, what the hell's the name of that place? Doc and Bubba's. That place is pretty cool. It's a relatively newer place. It was right by Brecknock, and it happens to be a place that they both like a lot. I am still battling a gout flare-up, so I'm not drinking beer. I have Virgil's 0-calorie root beer.
Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah.
These things are delicious.
I'm sorry about your gout. I'm really happy about the remission. Sorry, but hold on. Let me do this. I am drinking a Stickman Swill, the Maibach.
Yeah.
It may be some of the last remaining Swill. And here we are.
Aw.
Nice.
I have a 4-pack downstairs.
Hell yeah.
I think I have some downstairs too. I forget what all I got in my case when I was there. Before Bridget and I had to babysit, we stopped in and I got a case, and it's all really good, but I don't remember what I got.
Well, thanks, man.
Well, I guess, back to the topic at hand. As far as I'm concerned, like, this could be a Q&A. I'm sure we'll probably throw many things out. There will be many tangents, but I want to hear what is on your mind, completely unfiltered, in only the way that Ethan Buckman can.
Well, all right.
What have you been holding in?
I mean, I haven't really been holding in anything.
That's true.
I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah.
I think, I got to say, a lot of people have reached out to me about it after we announced the closure. I think we kept it pretty close to the chest. Like we were obviously doing a lot of weird things, right? Like we were shortening the hours and we were doing all kinds of stuff. And so like some people knew that something was up, and a lot of people reached out to me and were like very concerned. They were very concerned about Jim and Kate. And I just want to say, like, we were first and foremost, we operated effectively as a bar and restaurant. Like we also wholesaled and we also distributed, but we primarily operated as a bar and restaurant. We operated basically for 8 years. Most restaurants close within 3 years, right? So there is just kind of a shelf life on this stuff, So I'm very proud of what we accomplished as a company. I feel like we did a lot of cool stuff and a lot of good stuff. And I think it was just kind of time to end the business. It just wasn't working anymore, So like I said, we're going to figure out exactly what that means going forward. I mean, there's a lot to be worked out, like behind the scenes. Obviously, we owned a business. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moving parts. But ultimately, I guess, like, my message is just, like, this kind of stuff happens. And unfortunately, with the economic climate as it is, you're going to see quite a bit of this. Not just breweries, but, like, just a lot of food-related businesses are going to be closing. And hopefully, new ones will open when the climate is better. But it's just the reality of the situation that, like, there is not enough to go around in this industry right now.
Right.
It's just what's happening.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I feel like, not necessarily for Stickman per se, but the writing was on the wall for the industry a couple of years ago, even before COVID. I mean, once the number of breweries exploded to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, that's too many breweries that are all trying to do pretty much similar things. And of course, you have ones that shine, like Stickman did. But I think it's the oversaturation of the market leads to, I'm just going to stick to whatever I know and buy and I can get from like the grocery store and then go home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that there is just a lot of the market saturation and then also a changing market. Excuse me 1 second.
Hoagie!
Relax. Relax.
Hoagie's got things to say.
He's a real man. I'm going to go sit on the couch and see if that fixes him. Sometimes he just needs me to sit in a different place. But yeah, I mean, it's the market saturation. It's also like the economic climate. Inflation is a real bitch. And
Absolutely.
I don't think that people realize, like, in addition to inflation, we got this double whammy because, like, the difference in price between, like, retail and wholesale pricing, especially around food, like, shrank.
Yeah.
So in addition to the overall inflation, we had, like, less of a margin on the food products we were buying. Wages are going up, which, like, they have to because everything costs more,
Right.
But then it costs us more to run the place. And then also simultaneously, like, for example, part of the thing with closing Chester Springs was that we had a key employee move on and we literally could not find another employee. Like, he could put months and months of notice and we just couldn't do it. Like, it's during COVID, all these restaurant people went and found other careers and nobody has filled those spaces. So it's not like the, like, angry, like, reactionary argument of, like, oh, these kids are lazy these days, but there are just, like, legitimately less people working in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean? On top of everything else. And so especially when you get out in the PA suburbs where it's not easy for people to get around if they don't have a car, it's really spread out, like, there's not a lot of people generally, it becomes very difficult to find people to work in your restaurant. And if you can't find enough people to work in your restaurant, you can't open your restaurant enough hours and then you can't make any money. And whether it's a brewery or not, like, functionally all of these places are just restaurants. Like, that's ultimately, like, they're competing with other breweries who are all doing the same thing as them, but then they're also competing with the burger joint down the street and, the Chinese restaurant that has a liquor license and, like, all those kind of places. Right. And so it's just, people are spending less money because of inflation and things cost more and you can't hire enough people. And I don't know how the people who are in business are making it work. But I think that a lot of people just aren't. I think that a lot of people are just like, you know, just scraping by.
Right.
It's so true though. It has become so expensive to do pretty much anything. And
Yeah.
But the thing that, and you and I have had this conversation before, like last week we went out to a local Mexican restaurant for dinner. We were literally the only people in the restaurant besides, and I swear it was one person running the whole place. I think she was running the kitchen. She was waiting on us. Like, I swear she was doing everything. And then we drive by Applebee's on the way home and every freaking space is packed. And it's not like Applebee's is that cheap anymore. Like, you can't even go to Applebee's and get a really, really cheap meal like you could years ago. And I don't understand why the chain restaurants, well, I guess I can understand it. I mean, it's familiar. You're going to go, you're going to know exactly what you're going to get. But it's really sad then that we're losing out on all these amazing local restaurants and spots because people just, if you are going to go out, like, spend your money at the places that you want to still be there.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the reality of it is that, like, we are at a stage where, like, if you're making a choice about which businesses you still want to be open based on who you're supporting, it's tough out there, you know. But I think that and I think that you're gonna see a big proliferation of places like Applebee's and like chain restaurants and places that have just like a lot of money behind them for a little while. Like, I think it's gonna be a 5 or 10 year thing of restaurants kind of slowly closing before like new ones open in their place, you know. But I think there's also like changing consumer demands. Like, at the end there, I mean, we couldn't figure out what the hell to do to get people in the door. You know what I mean? So like stuff that used to work wasn't selling anymore. Things that were like unpredictable were selling one day and then weren't the next. Like, it just was very hard to like create any kind of consistency. And I think that there's just this like very oversaturated, people have been like following different like food trends and beer trends for like so many years now. And then we had this like major cultural shift. And I think there's just a bunch of whiplash and people don't really know what they want to buy. People aren't, that we're like reforming the American food culture. And there's just part of the consequence of that is that like a lot of these businesses are no longer sustainable, you know?
I also find for myself that gas is something that has become so expensive, and where I in the past may not have hesitated to drive 45 minutes to an hour to like get dinner and go to a brewery or two, now it's like, let's try to go somewhere closer.
Yeah, that was a big part of our issue. You know, Stickman used to really depend on, I don't know what it was about the town of Royersford, but it was very difficult to get people. Do you want to go outside, buddy? Come on. It was very difficult to get people from the town of Royersford to come to the brewery, right? And I don't know why that is, but it is the truth. Like, even in our last year operating, we were doing the Royersford Farmers Market, which was walking distance from the brewery. And Rachel did it every week. And genuinely 2/3 of the people that were there did not know we had been in their town for 8 years. You know what I mean? And it's not like we didn't do marketing. It's not like we didn't do stuff to get people's attention. So most of our business was really dependent on people driving from other places and coming to us. And once, you know, it costs $60 to fill up your car, it becomes less appealing to do that, you know, especially when, you know, when we opened 8 years ago, there weren't all these breweries everywhere, but now there's 2 breweries in every town.
Yeah.
So what's the point of coming and drinking my hazy IPA that tastes exactly the fucking same as your own brewery's hazy IPA and buying, you know, my cheesesteak that has chimichurri on it instead of your cheesesteak that has pepper aioli on it? Like, what is the point of, you know, it just at a certain point, it's like we're all doing the same goddamn thing. And why are you going to drive to Royersford and sit on traffic in 422 when you could just stay at your house in Reading and go to the place down the street from you, you know?
Well, depends which place it's on the street.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Come on, buddy. Come on. I got Hoagie in the backyard here. He was sniffing around. He's barking in the kitchen. He knows I'm trying to do something. And he's been chilling all day. And now that like this is his like witching hour. But yeah, so that's ultimately like I'm ready to do something new. I've been doing beer for since like pretty shortly after I turned 18. I was working as a brewer, and now I'm 32, and I'm going to be 33 in not so long, and I've been doing this basically my whole adult life. So I'm excited at the prospect of doing a new thing. So fuck them all. But it's just become tiresome. Untapped is a goddamn burden. It's just all terrible.
No, I completely agree. And I think it was Brandolin that posted something on Threads the other day, which I thought was just absolutely genius. Look at me very quickly. How does this app work? How does this app work? You can see your replies. Oh, there it is. She had posted, just a reminder, I was not put on this earth to confirm your tastes and preferences. Your opinions are yours, not a guidebook for how to live my life. And I'm like, can that just be a disclaimer on every single person's Untapped check-in?
Should be.
But how many other businesses or like career paths out there do people have to deal with something like Untapped or Yelp? Like the service industry is the only industry, first of all, it's the most thankless industry. Mm-hmm. And then put on top of it that like every Joe Schmo's opinion of what you're making or what you're doing, they are just entitled to their opinion about it. Like,
well, and I think we've trained consumers to think that everybody is entitled to have a professional opinion.
Well, I mean, that's also what, like, people look at the phrase "the customer is always right" and
exactly
blow it out of proportion, but that's not the phrase. It's like in matters of fashion, the customer is always right, or in matters of taste, the customer is always right, something like that. It's not that I am spending money, therefore I am right. It's like you are right on what fits your style and your fashion. But it got blown out of proportion, and now everybody thinks that just because they spend $1 somewhere, they have a say in how that place should run.
Because
yeah, and I do think that there is like this is like an elephant in the room that I have been pretty vocal about the whole time we've owned Stickman, and maybe it had something to do with people not coming in. I don't think so, but I think as many people liked when I went on rants as didn't. But the truth is like there is something to be said for consumer accountability here. Like I'll use an example at the very end of Stickman's operating things. You can find the same review copied and pasted on both Google and Yelp because the woman who left it really wanted to make sure that everybody saw it. But basically, we were left a terrible review because this group of people came in with a small child. And they had the child running around the restaurant completely unsupervised. We had a shelf of board games for people to play. And the kid was literally throwing pieces of the board games across the restaurant. And I asked them to just make sure that they were going back in the box. And then other customers came in. And I told them, guys, you got to have the kids stop doing that because there are other customers in here now. And they got all mad at me, and other customers left because their kids were so fucking pissed off. But then they left me a bad review. So it's like, well, we were stuck with that for years. We would get these people coming in with their kids after like a soccer game, and the kitchen would be completely overwhelmed, and you'd have like 300 children in there, and it would be a big ticket. But it would take up the whole restaurant for 2 hours and scare away all the other customers. And then the other customers would be mad. But if we tried to do something to like limit the people who were like bringing their children in and having their children cause problems, then they would like go nuts on the internet. So we couldn't do that. And so there is this like weird thing that a lot of people are experiencing where like the customers are kind of eating themselves at these places where they're just demanding it to like cater to every single thing they want all at once. And it's tough because it's like, it's hard to talk about that without looking like you're whining, but it is true. It's like, I do think that played not a small part in a lot of similar businesses to my own kind of struggling right now is this thing where like these parents with their kids like took it over and now nobody wants to come because the parents are afraid they're going to get yelled at for their kids, and then everybody else is like, well, last time I went to that brewery, it was like a fucking Chuck E. Cheese in there, you know. Yeah. So the industry's kind of eating itself, and the customers have some accountability. You know, some of these people and the way they are treating some of these facilities, especially out in the suburbs, have some real accountability to it as well. You know, and I think that, you know, I don't have to advertise to anybody anymore. And I know that it probably, to people who feel like I'm talking about them when they listen to this, probably sounds like it's sour grapes. But no, you know, if you bring 7 children with you to a beer factory and then you allow them to run all kinds of places besides their seats, you are causing the adult customers in that business to spend less money and leave quicker. You know what I mean? Like, you just are.
Yeah. No,
yeah, it's 100% true. There are places that I have not gone back to because of that exact same experience.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of examples of that. You know, there's the negative reviews. There's the people that, like, you know, will only drink the hazy IPAs. But then you've got the people that, like, if you have too many IPAs on tap, they're like furious at you because there's too many IPAs. And it's like, no matter what you do, everybody's flaming you on the fucking internet. And it's like, well, when all these places close down, you know, if all these people who left me like sad, melancholy comments on Instagram about how much they were going to miss my place, like, actually supported the place, we wouldn't be out of fucking business. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, yeah, it's tough.
And it's not just you. I think in the span of the last 4 weeks in Pennsylvania alone, there's been 6 breweries announced that they're closing.
Yeah, dude, and it's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of people. I mean, just today, this ice cream shop in Philly called
Weckerly's, man, I was so sad about that.
Yeah. So, like, it's everywhere, and it's everybody, man. And it's like, you know, we were at this place on Saturday that has had so much press. That is like a restaurant incubator. And it was Saturday at 7, and there was one other party in there. You know what I mean? It was just dead. And what are you going to do?
Was it the Lucky Well?
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know how you break in. I mean, I've been to a lot of places in that area that have been like less busy than you'd expect. And then there's a couple of winners that are always crushing it. But it's all these ancillary businesses, you know, it's just not going to be as rich of an environment if only the place with 20,000 Instagram followers is the busy one. You know what I mean?
But it's the Instagramification of everything. Everything has to be pretty and look nice and has to be able to get likes from everybody and shares. And that's got to be a big part of the downfall of it all. Because even if you look at like the trendy restaurants that are out there that have the things that everybody posts, like we went to a place in DC, the food was phenomenal, but for dessert they had this thing that was like a flaming tiramisu, and we were going to get it because I love tiramisu, and yeah, cool, it's a show. But the waiter comes over and we're thinking about dessert. And he goes, do you guys have any questions? And Bridget looks at him and goes, yeah, is the tiramisu worth it? And he just smiled and took a step back. I was like, it's also like $45 or $50 for this thing. Yeah. Whereas you could have gotten a regular piece of cake for like $20. So so much more.
Best dessert I ever had in my life.
Well, yeah, it was so much more expensive because they wanted everybody to post it on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And that is the epitome of where we are as a society, and anybody who just wants to go out and have a bite or have a drink. Like,
and I think that's an extension of Untapped and Yelp that we were talking about earlier. Everybody's a critic because we spent so many decades, you know, in a consumer focused society, like training people, like when you go out and spend money, you deserve to be treated like royalty just because you're spending money at a business.
Yeah.
You know, and it creates this like unsustainable expectations where you end up with customers coming in with unreasonable expectations of businesses because they've been trained to just get whatever they want when they go to like McDonald's or Walmart and these giant chains that can afford to do those sorts of things and coddle the customers in that sort of way.
Yep.
And then you take all those people and you lock them in their houses for 2 years and then say, okay, now you can go back out again.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a very confused environment. Yeah. And people don't really know what they want, and people in the business don't really know what to do to get people in the door. And you get a lot of people doing some level of good business for like a period of time, but there's only a very select few of people that are doing anything with any consistency, it seems like, you know? And so I know a lot of people who've had to close restaurants, breweries, whatever. You know, I know a lot of people who are still like plugging away at it, who say that they're slow. but they're making it work. I don't know anybody who says they're crushing it, you know? And so that's part of it too, is I think to a degree, even this like appearance of success of like the hype places is like a little bit of an illusion. Like, I don't think these places are crushing it. Like, just because you're booked at dinner on Saturday does not really mean you're making the money you need to make. You know what I mean? So I think even the Instagram place with the fire tiramisu is like, the only reason they're doing that is because they're trying, like they're grasping at straws to like generate income. You know what I mean? And so it's a weird position to be in, because yeah, it's annoying from the consumer behavior, but it's also like, it feels kind of hopeless, I think, to a lot of people. Like, I think it feels like no matter what you do, we're just in a decline of this industry, right? Yeah. And I think there kind of needs to just be like a reset. But yeah, I think until like a new group of people starts working in the industry again, until sort of like wages and prices kind of correct themselves on like a macro level, you're going to see like a downward decline for like several years probably of these places.
Okay, so a few times in the last episodes we've recorded, this whole idea of craft beer being generational has come up.
Yeah.
And the more I talk to more people and the more this comes up, the more I do think there's a lot of validity to this. If you think about, I mean, our range of ages here, like Wayne and I are definitely elder millennials, and Ethan and Dan, you're definitely more like, you're like the other end of the millennial, I suppose. Like, I feel like our generation is the craft beer generation. And now that our generation is in our 40s, approaching our 40s, our bodies are feeling like they're in their 40s, depending on where you fall in the spectrum. We're also looking at how we spend our money very differently, whether it's because people our age have families, or because our houses are falling apart, or just because things cost so much. And this Generation Z, is that the other one?
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Gen Z is spending their money, but they are not spending their money on craft beer. The amount of young people that have said to me, oh yeah, my dad drinks craft beer. And I'm like, that's the reality. Like,
and listens to Pearl Jam.
I also think that like, it's just, these breweries are going to go away because the demand is just, there's a big shift, because the people that go out and drink are usually the people in their 20s to mid 30s. Like, those, once we start to get to our late 40s, we don't want to go out anymore. We want to be like at home. We don't want to have to get an Uber, or like, you know, you get old. You just want to drink at home. You don't want to go out anymore. And young people do not want to drink craft beer. That's not what they're drinking. So it makes sense that like, we don't need as many craft breweries, because the people going out and drinking, they're drinking seltzers or wine, or I don't even know what they're drinking.
They're cocktails. They're drinking nice cocktails. What they're drinking, but they are the kids are doing it good, man.
Oh, good. I'm doing something the kids do. Yes,
I think I do. I do and don't agree with that at the same time. So I do think that. I think that certainly their craft beer has not like bridged the gap to Gen Z with like the same popularity as millennials. But I also think that craft beer is now less popular with millennials. I think millennials' palates are like expanding, and Gen Z is in a place where like they're doing what's cool, which was craft beer when we were in our 20s, and is now like cocktails and all these kinds of things. And then as they get older and their palate expands, it will likely also include craft beer. I definitely think there's too many breweries, but I also think, like I've been saying, is that most breweries functionally operate like restaurants. So there's still like a lot of room to like work this out, but there's going to be less of them, right? Because just people are spending less money on it. But I think that millennials are the ones that think craft beer is like super fucking cool. I think Gen Z probably doesn't give a fuck about it. But I also think that millennials themselves are, like you said, Steph, it's not even about like not going out and drinking as much, but also drinking a more diverse set of things as well. Yeah. And I think that this like goes back to my like the customers eating themselves thing. I think that like this real intense like hazy IPA craze is what turned everybody off. Like, I think that this just demand for all the beer to be the same, it sort of like burned the whole industry out. And so now you've got people who didn't want to drink IPAs, instead of seeking out other breweries, they just started drinking wine. They just started drinking cocktails, and people who maybe would have like gotten into higher end beverages were like, well, I don't like IPAs. I want something different than my Miller High Life, so I'll drink the seltzer. You know what I mean? And so, I think there's a lot to that. But I also just think that like we need more diversity. And that's part of what I'm learning in the market, or what I learned in the market there, is that like people just don't want the same shit over and over again. And like responding onto these trends, like the whole industry did, just really burnt everybody out. And so like the thing to do seems to be something unique, like we're seeing like this surge in fucking Amaro sales, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff. People are willing to try things. They're just tired of beer. Oh yeah, I don't know what the fuck's the problem.
I mean, to be fair, I think I kind of embody the point that you just made. These days, I'm more excited about cocktails than I am about beer most days. Don't get me wrong. I love going to breweries.
I can't remember the last time I ordered a craft beer at a restaurant, bro. Like I get a High Life at the appropriate places, or I get a cocktail or a glass of wine,
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's usually cocktails. I'm trying to like get into wine a little bit more, but I just, especially from this perspective, having done a craft beer podcast for over a decade, I'm I'm almost at my boiling point with beer, and I love doing this. I love that I get to hang out with my brother and my cousin, and we get to meet cool people like you, and that's amazing. But I'm not excited by beer anymore. I've said everything I can say about beer. I've tasted every kind of beer under the sun, basically. Like, there's...
Okay, but do you also think that has a little bit to do with, like, the culture of this industry right now? Because craft beer is not a happy or safe space at all right now.
That's very true.
And, and that is a big reason why there are breweries I won't go to. I am very hesitant to try new breweries because I don't know if it's a safe and welcoming space. I don't know, it's just 10 years ago, it was it was the illusion of this being such an amazing industry. Like, anyone will help anyone. You need yeast, I'll bring you yeast. You need hops, whatever, I'll help you out. We're all brothers and sisters and kumbaya. And then the reality is it's not that at all.
The thing too is that it did really feel that way for a long time, right? Like it felt like it was a very cool place. The thing is that before it was this cool place that was lauded as this sort of super welcoming industry, it was just a bunch of dudes who would have otherwise been plumbers but just wanted to do something cool. My first brewery job was in 2009, which is a long fucking time ago now. And 2009. And I the dudes that I worked with were all ex-iron workers, and it was just a very different vibe. There weren't a lot of motherfuckers in the beer industry at that point that were just so, for lack of a better term, just pissed off about nothing all the fucking time. I think that this was part of it too, is it's you get these guys that are so obsessed with being a savant, and they want to be viewed as an artiste in the beer world. And those are the guys that have this power need, and they go and harass people and treat their employees like shit and do all this stuff. But there just wasn't that ego to even generate the level of bullshit that caused all of this at the beginning of the beer thing, because it was just a bunch of dudes that would have been making minimum wage otherwise. They didn't before people started calling this drinkable art, it was a lot more fucking chill. You know what I mean? That's the beer industry that I miss,
Yeah. Well, and that's again, as beer as a product, craft beer as a product gets more and more popular, it's going to attract people who realize, oh, you can actually make money doing this, who aren't always the greatest people. And then the other people, like you say, who realize, oh, I can get a lot of attention doing this because everybody's super into craft beer now and they just want the attention.
Yeah.
It brings.
And it's, I recognize that I have a different perspective on this because the brewing industry has always been a boys' club to a large degree, right? I didn't meet a woman who worked inside like the brewery floor for the first probably like 4 years of my career. You know what I mean? And I met a lot of brewers. And so obviously there were problems in it then, but I just feel like the injection of this like ego is what really became the downfall of the craft beer industry. Just everybody just wanting to be such a fucking cool guy. And then, you know, it just builds on itself and it allows these like places, it allows harassment because it allows people, you know, it allows you to take advantage. You build this like cult of personality around like how cool this fucking thing you're doing is. And you get people who are really excited to be in that space and then you fuck them over in various ways, you know? And I miss it when it wasn't cool. I miss it when it was stupid and Budweiser commercials made fun of it. You know, that's what that was. Oh my God, that was the fun. That was really.
Wow, that statement made me very nostalgic. That's a very good point.
Remember the Budweiser commercials that were the Real Man of Genius? Real Man of Genius. Mr. in the car nose picker.
Well, they used to spoof them on SNL.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember the frogs.
Yeah, the frogs.
I don't know. I think about this a lot because I think about our podcast and at some point I'm like, are we even going to be relevant anymore? Are we just going to become the curmudgeons and we like can't take it anymore? And then all of a sudden we're going to be like, yeah, we're done. That was it. That was the last episode. Like, it is like the industry sustainable even to that degree? Because even look at a lot of the social media influencers perhaps that we knew back when we started doing this, and there's so many of them that are just gone. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pages that I used to follow to like see, you know, what new beers were out there and what new breweries were out there, and a lot of those people are gone, and even the fellow beer podcasters, like I don't even know most of them, and maybe it's just because that's even become so saturated. But at one point, will we just not even want to talk about it anymore?
Well, I think that I think that after you see a bunch of breweries closed, you're gonna see some cool shit. I think that there is like a reason to be excited. I think there are some breweries that are opening right now that I'm a little worried about, that are still kind of like trying to do the same thing that everybody else used to do, you know? But then I also think that there are a lot of people who have worked in the industry for a long time and saved up a bunch of money and probably have some cool ideas. You know, I think about like the Suarez guys. I think about James at the Referend, who I just talked to on the phone today. I haven't heard from him in a while, but I was very excited to hear from him today. I think about like all these kind of guys that are really sticking to their guns. And I think that there needs to be less breweries, and there will be. But I think the guys that are going to stick around are going to be the most interesting, because they're going to be the ones that like appeal to people who are like expanding their palates, you know, Gen Z in their 30s. And the millennials that still want to try this shit. Like, you know, I don't know too many people. I know a lot of people getting excited about lagers now. I know a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, but I don't know a ton of people still going and buying the newest can releases from fucking the hazy IPA place, you know? So I think you're going to see the creative stuff is going to have room to flourish when the market kind of thins out a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. You know, James is a good example that also made me think of Keith from Succession. Like these guys that are like doing spontaneous fermentation and like thinking about ingredients and like foraging and like supporting local farmers, and I think of Plowman, Ben from Plowman.
Yeah.
Like those are the people I really get excited to talk to about beer.
Yeah.
You know?
Ben's a cool
it's still
dude.
there. It's still there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I also think that, like, you know, the broadening happens everywhere, right? Is like, so Ben from Plowman doesn't brew beer, but it kind of is an adjacent space, and it's really fucking cool. You know, there are people doing all kinds of interesting things with like natural wine, right? There are people really kind of stretching the definition of mead, right? Like you've got a lot of local distilleries doing really cool products that are really interesting, you know? So like, you know, Boardroom is doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They did that line of like all different kind of brandies for a while. They're doing all kinds of cordials and liqueurs. They're going into canned cocktails. You've got the New Liberty people making like incredible brandy and rye whiskeys and bourbons. You've got, you know, Mural City Cellars doing all the cool wines. Like there's just a lot of stuff happening in this space. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in the space. I just think that as the market changes, it's probably, you know, the whole thing rather than like just beer specifically that's like worth paying attention to, you know.
Can we get some more breweries that just make like English ales, all hand pumped?
Yeah.
Like, can we get back to that? That's what I want.
I mean, you got Sam out at Bond Place doing a lot of great English ales, and
Mooey.
he's got the cask going there. I would like to see more of that. I had this dream at one point that if I really, all right, so follow me on this.
Let me take you on a journey.
Like a real hipster business idea. And this is something that could maybe work in like a future economy. I don't know. But basically, I would brew only Flemish style base beers. And I would do like Brett only fermentations and some sours, but a lot of just like funky, like farmhouse style stuff. But like, we're talking like SRM 10, like lightest color, right? We would do like a whole spectrum, like Flemish, but it would be a fucking dive bar. And the food would just be, like I would have several grilled cheese presses and the food would just only be grilled cheese, or like potato chips.
Like Sam with his PB&Js.
Yeah. So it would just be that, but like grilled cheese. And I would really go out of my way for the dive bar aesthetic. I would like cover the entire place in stickers, you know, but the only beer would be Flemish style beers served from cask ales. Wouldn't that be funny? I think it would just be funny.
It would be funny. It's interesting. I think it would work. It's just a little too much.
You're not afraid to get those 1-star reviews,
right?
Yeah, we would have like have to have like live music. It would probably have to just be like a very small space with live music.
Yeah,
and then maybe you sell like one Pilsner. Like maybe I would also sell bottles of Miller High Life. You know what I mean? That would be the one beer that I sell.
You also have to make it a dead zone, so no one can possibly access anything on their phones while they're in your establishment.
No, they can go fuck themselves.
But
they can say whatever they want.
You kind of tried to do it, Stickman.
Yeah, I did.
Build
but
a Faraday cage around the whole place.
Yeah, but no, I think that this is something that I'm on to. Is like if I ever started a brewery again, it would be like a dive bar situation, and we would just do something fucking weird. But yeah, it would just be like 4 cask ales and Miller High Life. That would be the whole brewery.
I would like that. I've recently been talking about how I've been jonesing to go hang out at a dive bar. So one that has actually really good beer at it would be just an extra added bonus.
Wait, where are you living? Where are you living these days?
East Falls.
East Falls. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the name of the place. There's a dive bar in fucking Roxborough that I love. That's like a little off the beaten path.
There's a place called Franklin's Pub that I see from the train that looks like a dive bar, but I don't know if it is.
It may be. It's not Franklin's Pub, but Franklin Pub is a good one to go to. There's a place near me called McCusker's, I think it is.
Wait. Hold on. Isn't that place that Human Robot just went in?
No, that was Separatist, which then became Carbon Copy.
Oh, that's right. It was the Separatist.
Yo, don't you dare tell me that would happen. I've only been there a couple of times, but I love it. But I go, you know, I'm a dive bar fan. I don't go as much as I should to the dive bars, but I really like, you know, you got this place down in deep South Philly, McCuskers. You got 12 Steps Down is an excellent example of a dive bar. But one that really is an unsung hero is the South Philly Institution. I don't even know if they're currently open or not, but Grumpy's, I really hope that they are rocking right now. Is fucking dope as shit. And then also Nick's Roast Beef.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call them a dive bar or not because they do have like the food, but they really only sell the 2 sandwiches, you know, and you basically just get bottles of beer and hang out and eat the sandwiches. But yeah, dude, you should do it. You should go dive barring.
There's a place called Murphy's Pub on, I think, Henry Avenue that I think's in Roxborough, but it's like on the main road. So that's probably not the one you were thinking of.
No, I don't. I'm not going to remember the name of this place.
Yeah.
I used to fucking, be out drinking a lot more. In my advanced age, I've calmed down quite a bit, but I used to be a little bit of a party guy.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little further away from those days than you are, but yeah, same thing.
I don't know the bars as much anymore.
Getting drunk is a lot harder these days. It
really
hurts.
is.
Yeah, dude. Actually, funny enough, I was developing fatty liver disease, and I lost a bunch of weight and changed my diet for a while, and now my liver's fine, and I've been fucking hitting it. And since my liver got better, I've been able to drink a lot better. It's been pretty cool. I've been really.
Wait, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
Well, it's what's been happening. I tell you that much. It's been a lot of fun.
You got to take care of yourself, Ethan.
I went on my vacation, as I told you about, and we were hitting it pretty good on vacation.
Okay, but were you drinking beer when you were over there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were drinking a fuck ton of beer over there. I mean, that's a different experience. It wasn't, but it's not craft beer. So we flew into Amsterdam. We were in Amsterdam for 4 days. Then we went to Prague. We were in Prague for 5 days. And then we went back to the Netherlands for like a day. We stayed in a city called Haarlem, right? And the whole time we were in Amsterdam, the Dutch have what I think to be the coolest drinking culture that I've encountered in my life. I've gotten to travel a lot of places. They just have these like little cafes that have like espresso machines and like 2 or 3 beers on tap. And they just will serve you food out of a deep fryer, and everything's just like very cozy, and people just get fucking drunk. And they do these like these shots of this stuff. I think it's just Genever is what you call it in English, but they call it Yayem, and they pour it in these glasses, and you like slurp it because it's like overfilled, and then you do the shot, and it tastes like you fucking ran moonshine through a gin basket, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like rye liquor that's like loosely distilled. At least that's what it tastes like to me. Like, it's not like a heavy, like they didn't go to make this a neutral spirit. This is like rye liquor, like one pass is what it tasted like to me. And they just like put juniper in it, and it was fucking dope as shit. I love it. We drank so much of that. And then there's this other liquor that's like kind of Jaeger-esque called Salmari that the Dutch love, and it's from Finland, but they love it in the Netherlands. So when we kind of try and stay away from the tourist places, so we're drinking a lot of Salmari and a lot of Yayem, and then we were also drinking many beers, mostly Amstel, honestly, is what we got in Holland, and then when we went to the Czech Republic, you go to these different places and they all just have like one Pilsner on tap, and we would just drink. They usually have like one Pilsner and one dark. And like a couple of places had craft beer, but it was funny because every place we went to that was like Czech craft beer, everybody in the U.S. was trying to copy Czech beer, but all their shit just tasted like American beers. They were just trying to hop up everything. And like, so we were just drinking whatever the house Pilsner was wherever we went. The Czech beer halls are cool. If you go to like, there's a couple of places that still do it the old school way where they just kind of bring you beers and mark it down on a card until you tell them to stop. That was a lot of fun. And they'll every place has the now very hyped about like side pull taps, and they'll give you the glass of foam if you ask for it and the whole thing. The food of foam. Yeah, well, the Milko. I'm sorry. It's mostly in the Czech Republic, it seems to be older folks who want to hang out with people but don't want to drink a beer are the ones who get it. But yeah, the food is fucking great. Smoked a lot of weed in the Netherlands, like a tremendous amount of weed. They do hash there really well, which you don't find in the US. So that was a lot of fun for me,
A lot of fun for me is finding a brewery with an espresso machine. That's like becoming a priority for me now.
Bond place, bro. Bond place.
I know. We were in Lidditz. We went to see the Rocky Horror stage show at Mickey's Black Box in Lidditz. Amazing fucking time. Been there. Not our first time. And
I love Lidditz as a general place to visit.
Yeah, but I wanted coffee, and I'm like, oh, maybe the Tomato Cafe's open. Nope, they're closed. There used to be a coffee shop up the street. Nope, that's gone. Nope, that one's closed. And we actually ended up going to the Hotel Rock Lidditz, which Food isn't that great there, IMO, but they had a Forest and Maine Saison, and there was a fucking espresso machine right there. So I had an Americano and an amazing Saison, and like I was in heaven. But it's all Sam's fault. Like, that's now like what I want. I want to go to a brewery and have a great beer and have an espresso.
Well, dude, you should go to the fucking Netherlands. I'm telling you, there's espresso. All the coffee is good in that whole country, which is Dutch food sucked ass. I did not like the Dutch food. I like the various people that the Dutch had once colonized. Their various foods were great. The Dutch food is fucking just a bunch of fried mush. But
fried mush?
Half the reason for imperialism is just better food.
I thought you said fried bush.
No, mush with an M. Look up bitterballin. Just look up what the inside of a bitterballin looks like. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Bitterballin?
Bitterballin. That's like their number one bar food. So everything that it seemed to be like Dutch food was like like this bitterballin, just like in a different shape. So you get like a croquette that's like a big log of the bitterballin.
Oh my God.
It's like falafel.
This sounds amazing. Yeah, falafel, but it's beef.
Inside of it is processed meat paste. Like it's not like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's not like vegetables.
It's like falafel, but the exact opposite.
It looks gloopy.
But it's just so gross. But the Indonesian food and the Surinamese food was fucking great, you know. But you know, when you get a couple beers in you, and all of a sudden the fried mush, it's all right.
Yeah, of course.
This is like the Wario of falafel.
You go get a couple beers. But yeah, dude, Amsterdam. Shout out Cafe Brecht, Brecht, Brecht. I loved it there. But yeah, we went to a bunch of these like dive bars all through the Netherlands that were just like cool places. You have a beer, they bring you fried mush, and you know, then you have a coffee and you go to the next place. It's civilized. It's really civilized the way to do it. I love an espresso at the end of a meal too, you know?
Yeah.
It's civilized if there's an espresso machine.
Yeah. I think I often would like get in trouble mixing caffeine and liquor when I was younger, but that was like vodka and Monster. I feel like beer and espresso is like much more.
Did I ever tell you guys about my Four Loko caper?
Oh, Four Loko.
Do you guys ever drink the caffeinated Four Loko? The original Four Loko?
Wait.
I never had the original Four
Loko. It was an experience.
The original Four Loko had to be taken off the market because it was causing college students to have heart attacks. It was, I mean, I would drink two of those and be just like, whoo, it was a thing. But when I was in college, they came on the market and then became outlawed like within 2 years. And because I was working in the beer industry and like I knew like other dudes my age who were like driving these delivery trucks, I managed to get a pretty substantial amount of the caffeinated Four Loko dropped off to me in the parking lot of the frat house that I lived in, and then I sold a bunch of it at parties at Pitt.
Very smart.
Yeah, that was my Four Loko caper. It was pretty dope. I don't think you could ever prove that in a court of law, so I'm happy to say it publicly.
Well, statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations.
So, yeah, I can't imagine that. It's over 10 years at this point.
Well, Four Loko crimes specifically are like 20 years.
Yeah. I sold cans.
Four Loko is a mitigating factor or whatever.
Most of it was the blue raspberry Four Loko.
Oh, that was the one. That was the one.
I would drink so
blue
many.
isn't a flavor.
My college drinking was so weird because every Thursday I would drink a fifth of Southern Comfort.
Ooh.
I really loved SoCo. And then I had like this blue raspberry Four Loko like hookup, and my buddy's dad who lived in the frat house also, shout out Coach Ira, he would always provide the frat house with like high-end alcohol. So we had like Johnny Walker, like whatever the fancy one is, the black label, and I would do a shot of Johnny Walker and then chase it with the blue raspberry Four Loko.
That's classy. That's real classy.
Jesus.
And then I would sort his
classy at school on Sunday.
I only ever had original Four Loko once, maybe twice, but the first time I lived in deep South Philly in Packer Park by the stadiums. We were all freshly 21. My roommate's girlfriend came over. She was going to cook us her homemade Alfredo, which that already wins. But one of our friends decided to come over with a couple packs of Four Loko, and that was what we drank while we were eating Alfredo. So a very heavy, creamy pasta followed up by fucking Four Loko with caffeine.
Did you
have
vomit?
the shits for 3 days?
No, I didn't. My one roommate did. He drank half of a can, and then just everything came out. He puked it all up.
I'm sure that was particularly gnarly looking.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah, it was... I've never described vomit as neon until that day.
Yeah, you gotta puke neon once in your life to know what it's like, I think.
When did Four Loko come out?
I mean, if we were freshly 21, it was 0809.
Yeah,
Because
2008, 2009.
Of course they would know.
Yeah, okay. I was going to look it up. I didn't expect you to know. I was Googling
in
it.
college in 09.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to do...
Hold on. Right there shows you their age difference between us and them.
Yeah, actually.
I have never had a Four Loko in my life, but think about how old we were.
You gotta try one.
No!
You gotta try one.
They don't exist the same way anymore.
If you could get your hands on the outlawed ones, you should try it.
Yeah. But you're going to puke for a totally different reason then.
One of the caffeinated ones, it definitely hasn't gone bad. It's 30% preservatives.
Oh, yeah. It'll be good forever.
God.
Yeah.
We used to do at the bar I used to hang out with when I was like 21, which was a bit earlier than you guys. They would have $3 vodka bombs, and it would be one of those cups with a shot, like a tumbler with a shot glass inside of it. And it was a shot of 3 Olives flavored vodka. You could pick your flavor from like cotton candy to bubble gum to like apple or whatever, and then Monster energy drink. And we would pound like 10 of them in like 2 hours over happy hour because they were like $3 a piece. And then later, Four Loko came out, and we were like, "What's Four Loko?" And we're like, "Oh, it's just basically what we've been drinking all along." Now they just sell it.
Yeah, now it's in a can. It's like the first time I saw Jack and Cola in a can. Like, how many Jack and Cokes have I had? And here it is, prepackaged for my convenience.
But see, this is why I'm not so bent out of shape about closing the brewery. Is because drinking is about to be fun for me again.
Yeah, that's true. If you make it a job, it sucks. I mean, not that drinking was the job, but it was the happy byproduct of it.
I had fun drinking. I've only ever had fun drinking on vacation for years, and now I'm gonna have fun drinking again all the time. Now that my liver's back in action, I want to drink a Four Loko. I think this weekend. I think that I might. I'm going out to my friend Tom's birthday on Friday. Shout out Tom!
Happy birthday, Tom!
So maybe I'll get a Four Loko for that.
I think you should.
Good God.
Wait, they don't make it anymore, right?
Whatever happened to Irish coffee?
No, they do. It just doesn't have caffeine in it anymore.
Yeah, they still have it, but it's toned down.
Same horrifying flavor, just without the buzz.
You know what, Wayne? When I was in Vegas for Pop Pop's birthday, we went to a bunch of casinos, of course. But one of them, I really wanted a coffee, but I was at a casino. It's just like, I got to get booze, so I got an Irish coffee. It was a really fucking good Irish coffee. I'm an Irish coffee guy again now.
I like
There's
Irish coffee.
a German deli out in, what's the end of Pricetown Road? Fleetwood?
Yes.
I think so.
Alexander's, I don't even know if it's still around, but when I played in a band years ago, that was like our practice space, and we left all our equipment there, and we would go on Sunday mornings to have band practice, and the owner would make us breakfast. We would pay for it, but we would always stop at Turkey Hill or Wawa and bring in coffees, and every morning be like, who wants an upgrade to their coffee? We would buy shots of Baileys, and he would just put it in his coffee.
That's awesome.
That was our coffee upgrade every Sunday morning.
That's
cool.
Sick as fuck. Everything is good in Vegas. I love Las Vegas. I think that it's I tell my wife that if she ever divorces me, I'm just going to become one of those sad dudes that lives in Vegas and just goes to the casino every day.
It's quite the lifestyle.
We would get along with our uncle and our grandfather.
Absolutely, you would.
I like to gamble so much that I don't gamble. You know what I mean? Like I'm really jazzed about it. I love the casino.
Is Ethan our grandfather at 32?
Probably.
It sounds like it.
Maybe that's why we like him so much. Does
your grandpa love shitty alcohol and blackjack?
He drinks nothing but Bud Light, but only plays slots. Never a table
machines.
Game. Yeah, I'm not a slots guy. I'll get down with the slots once a month. So here's a fun fact. In New Jersey now, because the weed is recreational and you can smoke in casinos, you can smoke weed in New Jersey. And I lost a bunch of money at the casino, and then I started playing slots because I smoked a joint and took my eye off the ball. You know what I mean?
That's why they're happy to allow you to do it.
Right.
So I played slots last time I was at a casino. My point being. So, and I was drinking Budweiser. So.
See?
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, our grandfathers started with blackjack and then move, and then
be.
later, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That could be true.
I like to do blackjack and roulette. I have, sometimes I get like a little timid about like if there's a bunch of people who seem to really know what they're doing at the blackjack table.
Agreed.
But I always like to play roulette. But if it's like, if I can get into the blackjack table, I have a lot of fun. I was at a resort with my wife Rachel's family in Mexico. This was her mom's like dream, was for us to do a family trip like this. So I went down to a resort in Mexico. I had a blast. They had a casino on the resort. I was playing blackjack at the Mexican resort casino. Won $80. No big deal. Whatever, rock and roll. I think maybe I'll be a professional gambler.
I don't think you're going to get that car you're dreaming of, though.
That's not.
I'll get a better car.
I could if I do good. You know what I mean?
No, there you are. You are a gambler. If I do good.
If I do good, yeah, it could happen.
My Aunt Selma, my grandma's sister, when she was in her 20s, ran away and lived with a professional gambler in Atlantic City for a while before she moved back and married my Uncle Jules. Yeah, that's a real story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Last time I was in Vegas, my wife Jess randomly was like, "I'm going to play some blackjack." Okay. And I've never been in a casino with her before. Like, it was the first time we were in a casino together. 10 minutes, she walks away with $200. I'm like, what the
fuck? Yeah.
I was impressed. That was
like,
cool.
yeah, I'm actually pretty good at blackjack. I was like, yeah, apparently. You want to keep going? Like,
yeah. Roll it back all night. When I go to the casino, I take out $200 and I play till I either win $1,000 or lose all the money. So far, I only have ever lost all the money. But because you go up and then you go down and then you go up.
Yeah.
But so it's how much it costs to hang out at a casino all night.
I mean, if you're having fun and you're not like pissing away your life savings, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what you're there for.
I go every couple of months and I take out $200 and then I lose it all.
Yeah.
I just make what happens is I become overconfident. Usually I start off doing okay and then I go, fuck it. We'll put $50 on 17. Let's go.
Yeah, but if it hits.
But if it hits,
the time that it hits, I'll be super. Like, one time it will hit. Like, one time in my life, it absolutely will, and that'll be one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, and it'll also be the only time you remember.
Right?
So
thinking
it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again.
Yeah,
but that was Jess's secret. When I was like, "How are you so good at blackjack?" She's like, "I know when to stop, and I always stop when I know when to stop." I was like, "Oh, I guess that really is the secret to all gambling."
Yeah,
it is the secret.
That's the secret to literally everything.
Everything, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's true.
Hi, Moo. Moo.
I mean, she can't hear yet, but there she is.
Aww.
The other cat was up here too, Peeps.
Yeah, I saw.
I thought I saw. I didn't.
She's like the Nega Moo.
What?
Nega Moo.
Oh, Mega Moo.
No, Nega.
Short hair and inverse colors.
You did say Nega Moo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought he said at first. He said she's mean.
Oh, Moo's a bitch now. Moo is an absolute bitch. I was so worried about her being so frail that the other animals would, be animals, and like the dog would chase her, the other cat would hiss at her, and like literally give her a heart attack and she dies. Moo owns this place. I don't get it.
She's got the life
experience. Moo is out in the yard cracking skulls.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like to the point
she
where
knows the secret.
Yeah.
You go to the biggest guy there and you start a fight.
Basically. Yeah, the dog won't like go anywhere in the hallway if Moo is anywhere upstairs.
Wow.
God forbid they want to go down the stairs together.
Look at her face.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she's having a great time.
Damn right.
She knows it.
You say you're going to get another dog, Ethan?
I'm thinking about getting a second dog. Rachel wants to get a dachshund. And I think it would be funny to have a dachshund named Pickle, and then we'd have Hoagie and Pickle.
Our dog's name is Bagel, and once it sounded like I called her Pickle, so that's just the nickname now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I think the food names are good. I want to get – so we had a cat before, and Hoagie could just not get used to it. But I think I might want to try again if he gets older, like as he calms down, because I like cats. And I really would love to have a cat named Chips and another dog named Pickle. And then Hoagie, Chips, and Pickle.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really one of my big goals in life, I think.
I think you should focus more on that goal than the new car.
No, I mean we can do it all. We can do all of those things. Don't limit yourselves. Skies if you aim for this, if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land amongst the stars, right?
Right.
But the ultimate goal is professional gambler.
I think that if I was a professional gambler, I would do quite well. I had a poker night over here the other night, and I won. I won money too. I did very good against my other friends who are also not very good at poker. I won.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of poker.
So
I used
did
to really, really enjoy it.
I used to love poker too. I was always bad at it though.
Yeah, I very rarely win, but this time I won.
I bought a chip set last year. We went out to Reading for our mom's birthday, and she's always loved playing cards. So I bought a nice chip set so we could all have a really cool chip set to play on her birthday, and it was fun. But that's the only time I've used that.
You could have borrowed mine.
I didn't know you had one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like it's a good thing to have on hand,
Yeah,
it was a nice set.
It's not terribly expensive to get a really nice set.
Yeah, I mean, this was like $45.
Yeah.
You ever see that Matt Damon movie, Rounders? Did you ever watch Rounders?
I have
It's
not.
actually a movie I've seen.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's fantastic. He plays poker. The Russian mafia is involved.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's a great time.
I do love mafia movies, so
Yeah.
heist movies, mafia movies, like that's my genre of movie.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like to imagine myself as the guy stealing the cars, I wish that I
with
could
the cars.
be
Noticing a
criminal.
trend.
Yeah, I want to be a career criminal, you know what I mean? I wish that I had the gumption to do it. My mom and my aunt and my grandmother did confirm this. There was a branch of the family. My grandfather's family was involved in the organized crime in Philly in the 20s.
Oh wow.
And there was somebody even got shot. Cousin Tippy got shot in Miami. Cousin Tippy got shot in Miami when a deal went bad. I don't know what the deal was about, but he was down in Miami doing, organized crime stuff, and he got shot. Yeah. But
amazing.
And it is funny. It's real because these were real people, and my family has done all this genealogy stuff, and they're real people. They were alive. My grandmother knew about them and was alive. When we not knew about them. I mean, she worked at their fucking record store where they did the bootlegging and stuff. But at the time, they didn't want to get caught. None of their records exist. You can't find any of that branch of my family's records and any of the genealogy stuff, even though you can find the rest of my family, all the relatives. But all the relatives that were supposedly involved in organized crime, even though I know what to look for and I know exactly that they exist, they're not in any of the genealogy records.
Wow.
Yeah. That's trippy to think about, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
They didn't want to get looked up, and at that time there wasn't computer systems. So if you just didn't have a file on yourself, that's all it took to not get.
Don't answer when they knock on the door for the census, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I think you had to pay somebody off to get rid of your your immigration papers or whatever. Yeah. Jacob Klein was definitely not born in the United States.
This is the fullest can of beer I've ever opened.
Is it very full?
It is to the fucking brim full.
Yeah, when I was working by myself for a while. I was running that canning line by myself. I may have overfilled some of the cans at the end there.
You're giving the paying customers a little bit extra.
Bonus
beer.
Yeah, it's bonus.
Bit extra.
If I overfill them, I don't have to fill as many.
That's also true.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it too.
So all right, what happens with all the beer you didn't sell?
Or let us take.
Right.
I mean, there was very little left. A lot of it we had to dump. You're not allowed to really leave stuff. So basically anything that is not around anymore that doesn't get sold gets disposed of. But I mean, we got rid of the vast majority of it.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, when we were there on that last night, the cooler was pretty empty.
Yeah, but you can't leave the alcohol laws all have to do with who's in possession of it. It's a controlled substance, so we're licensed to be the caretakers of this thing. So you can't just leave alcohol. It's that's So anything that was in the facility that was left and wasn't sold was disposed of.
We should have bought more.
Right. I have nowhere to put it. I would have brought it home and it would have gone to waste.
But yeah,
I've been storing it on the bar in the basement, and as I drink it, then I put another 4-pack in the fridge.
That's a good idea.
That's where I'm at right now. But I'm also drinking it way faster than I normally would drink it, which is probably the opposite of what I should be doing.
Why not? It'll live in your memory forever.
It'll live on my Untapped forever.
Oh my God.
In your Untapped profile. Yeah. It'll be preserved for posterity in your Untapped.
Don't forget, Untapped is forever.
Yeah, it is. It'll last.
Stickman is not.
Archaeologists will, in 1,000 years, archaeologists will be pulling out old MacBooks to look up Untapped profiles.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys watched the new South Park special?
No.
Which one? The Pander one?
Yes.
I haven't yet, but I want to. I love South Park.
Just put a chick in it and make her gay.
Yeah.
Remember how we tried to do Movie Busters or whatever the fuck it was?
Blockbusters,
which is actually a really good name.
Blockbusters is a sick name for a podcast, guys.
Yeah. It's also ripping off anyway. We should, you guys should watch that special, and we should record one of those talking about that special.
I would do a Blockbusters again.
Of the South Park.
Yes.
What's it even called?
It's called South Park.
Well, it even said which one, so is there more than one?
It's the new one that literally just came out. It's on Paramount Plus.
It's called like Pandering or whatever. It's also on HBO Max.
When you see the picture, it'll be them, but as teenage girls.
I did see something briefly on the internet about it, but I didn't investigate further.
I will admit it was pretty fucking good and also pretty fucking terrifying. It is terrifying how spot on they are with their humor at times in the most terrifying way.
The thing about South Park is people don't give them enough credit because they're vulgar, but they're super fucking smart. And they talk about stuff with like a lot of nuance. I just watched the episode. Recently where the PC babies were like mad about all different kinds of like athletes and stuff, and I thought it was like a very good way to be like, you can be mad at one person for being a dickhead. That doesn't mean you have to be mad at like everybody for everything. You know what I mean? It was they do a good job of like cutting through the bullshit. Also, the whole plot line with Randy being the weed farmer.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah.
Integrity.
Integrity. I'm going to sell integrity to the Chinese. And then he kills Winnie the Pooh. What the fuck is going on there? Like,
well, there's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
What was it? President Xi? Is that his name?
No, I understand it's about oppression in China. That's what I'm saying. Is they made all kinds of crazy commentary, and the way they showed it was to have Randy do a mafia hit on Winnie the Pooh.
I think we just found our new co-host of Blockbusters, by the way.
There you go.
I'd be up for it.
I heard my wife upstairs say, he's recording a podcast. I'm afraid I'm like interrupting her her class.
Are you being too loud?
I think I might be. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, we would pay you like $5 an episode. I think we could afford that.
What the fuck? I don't get paid for an episode.
Yeah, but he is a special guest, and I feel like he brings value to what we're doing.
Wait, for the movies, you would pay me $5 an episode?
Yes. I would Venmo you $5 an episode if you did Blockbusters with us.
Hey, I'll do. I mean, I'm in.
All right.
It would go towards your new car.
There we go.
Yeah. I've been thinking about what.
We'll take a lot of episodes.
I've been thinking about what kind of car I want to get for my new car because I had the Toyota Avalon, and that was dope as fuck. But they don't make it anymore, so it's like, what do you do? Because the car that they replaced the Avalon with is not nearly as good, frankly. So how do you fix that problem?
Well, I know you're not a woman and I know you're not gay, but I really, really love my Crosstrek. I'm just saying.
I currently own an Outback. I love Subaru.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not, but I love my Outback. I was thinking about getting the new Outback. The new Outbacks are dope as fuck, and they're turbocharged.
Okay, if money was not an option, now I love my Crosstrek. Don't get me wrong, and I will probably own a Crosstrek the rest of my life. But my dream car is the Audi that the transporter drives.
The station wagon?
It's not a station wagon.
I don't know the transporter.
Oh, she's a diehard Jason Statham fan. I found that out.
The one that Jason Statham drives.
You know
the transporter.
What model is it? Is it the sports car? Is it the two-seater?
It's the car that Jason Statham drives in the transporter. That's the car. It's Jason Statham. Jackal. It's a Jackal. Jackal.
The car that
the Audi A6 all-road, the station wagon Audi, is so dope. It's the coolest fucking car in the world. I think station wagons are fun and funny, and a fancy station wagon is like my dream car.
A fancy station wagon.
Station wagons are practical.
So it's a 2005 Audi A8 6.0 W12. I don't know.
Oh yeah, those are dope as fuck. Those are cool as shit. Yeah,
they look pretty cool.
Dream. That's my no money is not an option car.
It's pretty stylish.
Google the 2024 Audi A8 interior. Do yourself a favor. Just imagine yourself sitting in that thing.
Audi A8.
Are you googling it for me?
This might be lost on me. I'm not much of a car guy. I can appreciate stuff that looks cool though. Oh wow.
Yeah. The quilted leather. Look at that.
Oh,
is it vegan leather? I won't drive a car with real leather.
Oh well, then you're never gonna have an Audi A8.
How do you know they're vegan? I'll tell you.
No, it's Napa leather. It's real ass leather.
Yeah.
Several cows died to make those chairs.
Oh man, MSRP is only $87,800.
Jesus Christ.
That's not a lot considering. Like, there's way more expensive cars.
Starts at $87,000. If you want the real experience, you're probably going to pay $124, but that'll involve massage chair seats.
Oh God!
And air conditioned seats, I presume.
Air conditioned
seats are great.
Massage function. Yeah.
I kind of want air conditioned seats.
Although,
hold on, it may be a waste. I use the heated seat like 9 out of the 12 months of the year.
Well, no, the air conditioned seat, when you need it, it's like going back to cloth seats after the Toyota Avalon has been really a bummer for me.
I've only ever owned cars with cloth seats.
Yeah, I got to tell you, got to upgrade. How much time do you spend commuting a day?
8 minutes.
Oh, well, then it doesn't really
16. Well, yeah, 8 that way and 8 back, so 16.
Yeah, that's you don't need leather seats then.
And I can't afford the cars that offer vegan leather. I can't afford those cars.
Yeah. Have you looked into what's the one, the fucking bleeding heart fancy car? The Rivians. Have you looked into the Rivian?
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
It's an electric SUV that's like luxury interior, and I'm sure the leather is vegan.
They have pickup trucks too.
Yeah, they got a pickup truck.
Looks weird.
Truck.
Oh, I've seen these on the road with the weird circle ones.
Yeah.
I've seen these on the road.
Do you know why you've probably seen them and not realize it? Because Rivian
can't drive something that big.
Rivian has a contract with Amazon, and Amazon is buying a fuck ton of Rivian electric vehicles for their fleets.
70,000.
Those round headlights, you will see them on Amazon vans.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that definitely looks familiar. Yeah, now that I see it.
Wait, Steph, which cars have the vegan leather?
I don't know. Doesn't Tesla have vegan leather?
Oh, you know who's got the vegan leather? No joke. They call it like Leatherette or something like that.
Leatherette.
The new Lamborghini SUV.
Oh, yeah, I can totally afford that.
Hey, dream big. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll land amongst the stars.
Google says Tesla.
I'd rather remodel our other bathroom.
Well, if you got money if you got money to buy a Lamborghini, you can do both. You know what I mean?
I don't have money to buy a Lamborghini.
Well, maybe you got to change your mindset. Mindset.
Oh, Porsche. Porsche offers vegan leather.
Yeah, Porsche does. BMW, Volvo.
I think my dream car.
You're probably looking at the same list.
I think my true dream car is the Porsche Panamera. It's so sick. It's so cool. I'd look like such a cool guy if I was driving that everywhere.
You're already a cool guy.
That's true.
Panamera. Okay.
This says a Porsche Taycan.
Yeah, that's the electric one. The Porsche Taycan is the electric.
Oh, there's one.
Because they figure if you care about vegan leather, you're probably going to want an electric car.
Well, the Porsche Panamera is a plug-in hybrid. You can plug it in and zoom, and it's a hybrid, and then it's powered.
You can plug it in and zoom.
Plug it in, zoom. Now I have to ask Ethan, your dream car, would it be loud?
No.
Good.
No.
That's good.
I'm not a speedy guy. You know,
I didn't think so.
if I'm gonna buy one of these cars, I want everybody to see me in it. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
I'll never understand why people, mostly dudes who want to be tough guys, drive around in cars that sound like they're broken and act like that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the mods for the engines because the speed limit is 80 on the busiest highways. And so even if you're going a little faster than that, like I don't want to do all the racing.
Yeah. And just the noise, like human engineering has devised a way to stop that noise, and then you're like deliberately reversing that process, which just I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. In Philly, we have the dirt bike guys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, too.
No, we have them in Reading, too.
Really? They made it out there? Oof.
They're going everywhere. A friend of mine is convinced it's a sign of the apocalypse.
I mean, I think a lot of things are.
Yeah.
I mean, dirt bikes at least signal that maybe it'll be a cool apocalypse like on TV, maybe.
Yeah, I don't find it too cool. They're doing all the wheelies all the time. Like, learn a new trick. Learn a new trick.
But they also do that. They like weave in and out of traffic and try to get as close to a car as they can. Like you're gonna get hit.
Yeah. One time I pissed one of them off and he punched my mirror out.
Oh, really?
Jesus.
Was he filming you while he did it?
No.
The ones around here, they like do stupid shit and they film you while they're doing shit, like to see your reaction.
Huh.
Yeah.
Some folks got a lot of they're very thrill seeking, I suppose.
Yeah.
Thrill seeking?
Not for me. I need four wheels.
Yep.
Attention seeking.
All four wheels on the ground at the same time, too.
Yeah.
Don't your
My preference is just something that works and has a rear view camera and does Apple CarPlay.
Yes.
Yeah, see, now you're already starting to get into some of the that's some fancy stuff. The Apple CarPlay, like that's a nice feature.
It's fairly standard these days, I feel like.
Yeah, my car has Apple CarPlay.
If you get a newer car, for sure. I got a 2016 Outback I'm driving right now. It's got no CarPlay. I want to get the new turbocharged Outback. I think that's my realistic next new car with the leather seats and the whole thing,
I'm just trying to afford a Hyundai Elantra.
The Hyundai's cool. The Hyundais are cool. You know what I really like are those SUVs, the new I've been looking at a lot of cars lately because
Same here.
My car's all messed up. I was thinking about buying a new one, but I'm not going.
No, my lease expires in December, so I have to make a decision. And my original thought was get rid of the car. I'm in the city. I don't need it, but I kind of want a car. But then
it's nice to have a car.
Yeah, but then I started looking at lease prices and everything, and cars with a sticker price less than what I paid 3 years ago. My monthly payments are $300 more a month.
Yeah, it's the interest rates, bro.
Yep.
Those interest rates, they get you. This is how they're beating inflation with the interest rate.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Yeah. Go F yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, raise the prices to lower demand, and in the meantime, poverty becomes a thing.
Turning knobs.
Turning knobs. I was wondering.
Turning knobs, and then you turn the wrong knob and like a million people starve. Oops.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. On that note, Wayne, is there such a thing as an edition of Happy Fun Time for this exit interview?
There is. I did prepare a game. I wasn't sure if we were going to get to one, but I do have one prepared if we want to play.
If everybody's on board.
I like fun games.
All right.
Not only do I have a game prepared, I have a brand new game prepared.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah.
Hello.
Cheers.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't either. Well, we're going to find out together. Cheers, Internet, and welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, the podcast trivia segment that refuses to think about Gen Z in their 30s. So, as I mentioned, I have a new game in my ongoing and often fruitless quest to devise new games for Happy Fun Time. I have come up with an idea that might well be terrible, but we're going to try it anyway.
As long as it's not, what are they, anagrams?
It's not spelling. It's not anagrams. It does involve.
Anagrams is the worst.
It does involve Untapped.
Of course it does.
But not reviews. I'm calling it Untapped Word Count. It's pretty simple. I'm going to give you a name of a word that often appears in beer names or descriptions, and your job will be to guess how many search results there are for that word on Untapped.
Are you serious?
You won't be completely in the dark. Each question has two parts. The first part is it more or less than a given number, and then once you're armed with that nugget of knowledge, you can all guess the exact number, and the closest will get a point. And also, as if it wasn't convoluted enough, the results include not only beer names, but also beer descriptions, which is just simply the way that searching on Untapped works, and I've decided that's not a deal breaker, and we're just going to push forward. Also, these results are accurate as of about 3 p.m. today when I double-checked them, but there were beers being added even as I was making the game because the beer stops for no one. So these numbers will not be accurate if you're listening to this and you go on Untapped and search. Obviously, the number will probably be more than it is right now. So this game might very well be terrible, but we've never done it before, so we're gonna try something new and see how it goes.
Hey, rock and roll, let's do it.
Let's do it, and we will begin as we usually do, just to keep us in our comfort zone with Dan. Our first word is flamingo. Are there more or less than 1,000 results for flamingo on Untapped?
And maybe I'm just not following, but results for what? What? How many times?
Like if you search the word flamingo,
how many beers there are?
If you
that
search
match that?
beers,
okay.
No, not how many beers. How many results will come up?
Yes.
Okay.
Searching for beers specifically. However, the search for beers also searches the descriptions. There's no way to stop that. I tried.
So flamingo plus or minus.
This is already obviously a bad idea. I'm sorry.
All right, flamingo. I will say probably has more than 1,000.
Saying it is more than 1,000. Steph, more or less than 1,000.
Oh, that's all I have to say?
For now, there's 2 parts.
Oh, more.
Saying there is more, and finally, Ethan?
less than 1,000.
Saying less.
No way it's less.
It's not less. It is, in fact, more. So Dan and Steph had that correct. So now we know it's more than 1,000. Dan, how many do you think it is?
Oh, God.
There's an infinite number of answers if it's more.
I know.
There's an infinite number of answers if it's less, too.
No, there's not.
If you count negative numbers.
But when you're talking about things that actually appear, if we're going flamingo, it's more than 1,000. I'm going to say 1,962.
1962. Very good year. Steph, what do you think?
I feel like it's way more than that. 5,300.
I couldn't think of a number higher.
I couldn't think of a number higher
You
than
started talking
1962.
about infinite
How about
options?
the year you were fucking born is higher than 1962?
I don't know.
The year right now is higher than 1962.
What year is it now?
I don't know, but it's more than 1962. All right, Dan said 1962, which I've said more times tonight than any other time in my life. Steph said 5,300. Ethan, what do you think it is?
3,500.
3,500. Wow, Dan is definitely the closest because the actual answer is only 1,113.
Holy shit, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Not nearly as many as you would think. I do have one of those beers, which is worth mentioning, Flamingoza from Uinta Brewing Company, a tart and salty German-style Goza beer made with pineapple and pays tribute to Utah's own Pink Floyd, the Flamingo.
How do you see the number of results?
You can't do it on the app. You have to do it on the website.
Oh, well, fuck that.
Uinta
Uinta is cool.
Flamingos. That's a stupid name for a beer.
Uinta is one of the few places in Salt Lake City you can drink and not have to order food. And I'm
they have
assuming
to-
because of their production license.
That's where they have like the modesty curtain at the bar or whatever, where they pour your drinks behind it so you don't see them making the drinks or whatever. I don't know if that's still a thing. But yeah, Flamingoza was named after Pink Floyd, the Flamingo.
They do hate alcohol in Utah.
They hate
They also-
fun in general.
Never mind. I was
Yeah,
going to say
don't-
something that's probably so
Don't-
wrong.
Yeah, don't go down that. We don't want to
We'll
go
save
down
that for
path.
last call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to our next word of the game, Steph, you're going to guess on this one how many results searching for beers on Untapped are there for the word unicorn. Is it more or less than 5,000?
It's more than Flamingo.
Is it more than 5,000?
Yeah.
Saying it is more than 5,000. Ethan, what do you
I
think?
can think of 1,000 just right now in my head.
Yeah, dude, it's more than 5,000. Everybody loves to talk about fucking unicorns.
Ethan also saying more than 5,000. And finally, Dan.
I'm going to say less.
Oh, Dan
You're wrong.
bucking the trend. Going less. Despite what Steph says, you are correct. It is less.
It seemed too obvious. It seemed way too obvious.
Less than 5,000. Dan, how many or Steph, I guess you guess first. How many do you think there are?
4,700.
47. Going just under the mark. Ethan, what do you think?
3,500.
$3,500. I'm going to have to actually do some math here. Dan, what do you think?
I honestly thought Steph was going to say $49.99. I'm going to say, Ethan, you said what, $3,500?
Pipeworks, fucking Saucony.
I'm going to say,
they have a unicorn in it.
I'm going to say $3,200.
$3,200. That does make you the closest, Dan.
Shit.
And fucking Price is right over here.
Dan cheats.
It's $2,342.
Oh my god.
These may have been the best cheese fries I've ever had in my life.
Oh, where are they from?
And I know that doesn't
Mama's.
sound believable. There are currently 2,343 results. So there's been one unicorn beer added since I finalized this game this afternoon.
That should be the game. How many have been added since I searched this afternoon?
I do have another unicorn beer worth mentioning. It is, and I probably have mentioned this before, Penultimate Unicorn.
I think you
which
have.
Is from
I know you
Proclamation Ale Company, because Penultimate is one of my favorite.
We don't
ales.
remember much of the things you say, but that I remember.
Fair.
I
you
like
probably
that
shouldn't.
beer name. I approve of that beer name.
You approve of that beer name. Ethan approves. Well, Ethan, you are up to guess next, and our next
Over 5,000.
our next our next search term is dank.
Oh, fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Is it more or
10,000?
less than 10,000?
More.
More than 10,000. Dan, what do you think?
So it's beers and descriptions. Does descriptions include...
Dan is taking this way too seriously.
It's the little blurb that the brewery writes under the beer.
Okay, but not comments.
No.
All right, good. In that case, I think I might go with less.
All right,
No,
Dan going
more,
with less.
more.
Steph
More,
emphatically
more,
saying more.
more.
Dan is right again. It is actually less than 10,000.
Comments, yes. Descriptions, no.
There you go. I like the clarification. Ethan, you guessed first on that.
Every brewery puts dank in their IPA description.
Not every brewery puts
Not
descriptions
anymore.
on their
Okay.
beers on
Every
There's also
brewery
that.
4 years ago.
There you go.
There's a lot of beers on tap that just don't have descriptions, too. Just saying.
I'm gonna say 8,500.
Saying 8,500. Dan, what do you think?
9,200.
9,200. And finally, Steph.
All right, I need some points. I'm saying 84.99.
84.99. You rode the wrong coattails because the correct answer is 9,253.
God
Dan was
damn
only
it.
off by 53 beers.
Dan is a savant.
He is. And right now it's 9,590, so obviously a much more popular word.
Oh my god.
Okay. So here's the thing. I have 7 of these.
Okay, keep going. Bring them.
Okay.
Bring 'em.
I didn't know if we wanted to do them all.
this is fun. I like it.
All right, moving on. So we're
But
back.
I love it, but I never want to play this game ever again.
Fair enough. We're back at... Oh, I do have an honorable mention for Dank. Benjamin Danklin from Fatheads Brewery because of the local Philly connections. There you go.
Who made it?
Fatheads.
Oh, wait, what? Fatheads?
Yeah. I know.
You said local?
They're in
Benjamin...
Ohio.
Yeah, but Benjamin Danklin is a reference to Benjamin Franklin. who was-
okay. I thought you meant Fatheads was local.
No. I know Fatheads is in here. We are back to Dan, and our next search term is juice.
No.
Oh, fuck you.
Just juice, not juicy.
Only if they spell it wrong with an E. 'Cause it will pick up juicy because it's just a Y added to juice. Same number as the last
And
one.
you had a Y.
Is juice more or less than 10,000?
Man, see, if it's not counting juicy, I gotta say less.
Dan is saying less. Steph, what do you think?
You said 10,000?
I said 10,000, more or less.
And it's juice, not juicy?
It's juice.
Well, fuck, I'm going to say the opposite of Dan. I'm going to say more. Even though
You're
I think
gonna
it's less,
say
I'm going to say more.
All right, Steph is saying more. And finally, Ethan.
More.
More. This time the moors have it. It is, in fact, more than 10,000. Dan, you got that part wrong, but what's your guess for the total?
11,580.
11,580. Steph, what do you think?
11,581.
581. And finally, Ethan.
Well, when you take into account that it also includes everybody who spelled the word juicy wrong, I want to say 17,200.
That's fair. I might be giving people too much credit.
250, which, thankfully, the math is easy, makes you the closest because the actual answer is 16,600. And H, my favorite of the ones I perused for 30 seconds was Wheezin' the Juice.
Oh, God.
From Grant Armory Brewing, which I know we've talked about on this show before.
Wheezin' the Juice? What does that even mean?
It's from Encino Man, the cinematic masterpiece starring Pauly Shore and
Brendan Fraser.
That's the second movie we've referenced in this podcast episode that I've actually seen.
Oh, my God.
Nice. I love that movie.
That might be a record.
Whatever age I was when it came out. It's really good.
Probably late 80s? Early 90s?
It had to be early 90s.
Encino Man was the 90s. Yeah, it was.
Early 90s?
It was peak Pauly Shore.
Yeah, peak Pauly Shore.
In 1991.
Wait.
Oh, don't say that.
Did you say peak Pauly Shore?
Which is, it was peak Pauly Shore, but it was right before peak Brendan Fraser. So it was like a crossfade of their careers.
92, 99.
I've never heard it put that way, but that's
I mean, yeah, right.
Very, very accurate.
I'm so glad Brendan Fraser's making a comeback, by the way.
Yeah. He seems like a good dude.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he was just in The Whale.
He's been through some shit, apparently, and now he's like...
The Whale.
No, Brendan Fraser. No,
yeah. Yeah.
We saw Pauly Shore in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Is
not like performed, just like walking
just
around.
on the street.
Just like walking through a restaurant looking for somebody.
God bless him.
No,
God bless.
No, he's
the juice, buddy. I've heard that he's not a nice guy. But I don't know, so I won't comment. Moving on, Steph, you are going to guess on our next search term. And if you like the last one, you're going to love this one. This one is haze.
God damn it.
Oh, no.
Is it more or less than 20,000?
More.
Saying it is more. Ethan, what do you think?
More.
Also more, very Moorish, this one. Dan, what do you think?
But still haze and not hazy, though, right?
I mean, unless they spell it wrong.
I gotta say less.
All right, saying less. You are incorrect.
Damn it.
Is more. It is more than 20,000. I'm not really sure either. Steph, I believe you guessed first. You are correct. It's more than 20,000. What is your magic number?
21,200.
21,200. Ethan?
30,000.
Whoa.
30,000. And finally, Dan.
I'm gonna go 26.5.
26.5. Steph, first time you've won on the number question.
Hey!
You are the closest.
Woo!
Because it is, in fact 20,579.
So it was just slightly more.
It was just slightly more. It is currently 20,705, so it's going up a bit.
Oh, Jesus.
Moving on to what is actually the penultimate search term of the game.
Oh, hold on. This game is meant to assure Ethan that he is making the right choice.
It is.
Yes, good. I'm glad. Ethan, you're going to guess first on this one. Our penultimate word of the game is bourbon.
Bourbon, huh?
Oh,
is it
Jesus.
more or less than
100,000?
50,000.
Wow. And the thing is, I gotta say less. I gotta imagine less.
What?
People are still making the bourbon barrel beers with that much frequency.
Yeah, but Untapped is an archive. Also,
I'm
my
still saying
favorite
saying
Ethan
less?
phrase is "I gotta say."
Dan, more or less than 50,000 results for bourbon?
I think I agree. Less.
All right,
Really?
saying less. I don't know, two less. Is less more or is more less?
What?
Well, now I'm,
Less is more. There's no end to me, Peter Pan.
I mean, 50,000 is a lot.
That is a large number. Depending on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, the money I need to buy an Audi, it would be more. Okay, I will also say less.
All right, everybody's saying less. Everybody correct on this one. The results for bourbon are less than 50,000. Ethan, you were first up to guess. What do you think the number is?
I think it's 24,000 there, Wayne.
Oh,
24,000.
no, it's got to be more than that.
Dan, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 41,800.
41,800. And finally, Steph.
I know the answer.
Oh. Would you say 41,800?
Yep.
That is what Dan said. Yep.
I'll say 40,000.
40,000. Good strategy again, Steph, because you are the closest.
Nice.
To the actual number, which is 38,255.
I'm actually surprised it's not more than that.
Yes, it is now 38,461. Still making you the closest. These
that
numbers, the
more-
numbers
more
that they
or
are now
less?
don't count. We have come to the final question, which means I have to now figure out how the fuck these scores work. I'm just giving everyone a point for everything I've circled under your name.
I had a feeling you'd end up going with that.
7. So that gives Dan 7. Gives Steph 6.
Oh.
Yeah, and gives Ethan 3. So we have essentially done twice as many questions. You've all answered 12 questions so far.
All right, well, here, I will offer this. Steph, you can veto if you want. Ethan, if you are right with the higher or lower, and then you guess the exact number, you win.
I don't look. Listen, I've already lost. I've lost every one of these games I've ever played. I don't want. I don't want
Why
this.
stop now?
I don't want. I don't want the opportunity to win.
Okay, all right.
All right,
I
fair.
respect
I'm
that.
here as the spoiler. I'm here as the spoiler. I'm going to mislead one of you.
He's independent.
Oh, no, but you go last.
You do go last.
Don't worry. I'm going to do it with my eyes.
A lot of work in the eyes.
I'm going to do it with my eyes.
So we're going to go in the order of scores, highest to lowest, starting with Dan, then Steph, then Ethan. Our final search term of the game is barrel.
Oh, my God.
Are there more or less than 100,000?
I hate to say it, but I think more.
Dan is saying
It
more.
has to be more.
Steph saying more as well. Has to be more. All right, Ethan, we've got 2 mores.
Fuck you less.
Fuck you less. I hate you more. Fuck you less. So we've got more, and less. The mores are correct on this one.
Oh,
it is
fuck
actually more than 100,000. Dan, what do you think it is?
Oh God, I'm honestly gonna say 145,000.
145.
Do we know how many total beers there are on Untapped?
Someone does.
17 million.
It's probably not that
Sounded
far
very
off.
convincing.
Right.
Very confident when you said it.
What'd you say? 145.
What if you just
Yeah.
search for nothing? I don't think it
Just
says that.
space
Yeah, it says you gotta put something in.
I'll say like 130.
130,000 saying Steph. So we've got 145,000. We've got 130,000. Ethan, what do you think?
I still think it's less. I think it's 98,000.
Well, you already know that that's wrong.
Well, no,
I'll write
no,
it down if you
no,
want.
no. It isn't necessarily wrong. Steph, what did you say?
I think I'm closer with 98,000.
Yeah, if it's like 105, you get
Oh,
it.
that's true. You are closer. You should at least say 100,000 though, because you
No,
know it's
no, I'd
400.
say
1,001.
100,001.
I say 98.
You
I insist on the number being 98.
I can't wait to hear what Wayne says because the look on your face
Your
right now.
ranking is great.
you are off by roughly 21,000.
Who, me?
Oh, that means I'm closer.
Steph is off by roughly 10,000.
Oh damn!
Slightly more than 10,000. So Steph is in fact the closest. The actual number is 119,731. It was a good strategy going under 100,000 because it wasn't too far above, but you didn't get close enough. So Steph,
I think
on
this.
that one.
I think this is liberal propaganda. I don't. Believe
everything I say is liberal propaganda.
This shit is woke.
This shit is very woke. So we have a tie.
Oh damn! Is there a
Not during
tiebreaker?
Sparkle Party. I'm excited because I actually had an idea for a tiebreaker.
Oh my God!
And not that I want to drag this nonsense out any further. So Ethan obviously lost. He only had 3 points.
yeah, I only had 3 points.
But Dan and Steph are tied with an astounding 8 points apiece. So my idea for the tiebreaker is for each of you to give me a word that you think will have the most results, but it can't be a beer word. It can't be like ale or lager or brewed or
And
yeast.
whichever word has the most results wins.
Yes.
Oh, wow!
my
Can I
God.
throw one in? Can I throw one in here?
You can throw one in if you'd like.
Beefy.
Beefy. Okay, I like that. We're going to go Beefy for style points for Ethan. The only thing I didn't consider about the tiebreaker was giving you time to think.
Okay, I have my word.
You have yours?
I might have one too.
All right.
What if it's the same word?
Well, since Steph got the last question right, Steph, what's your word?
Dry.
Dry. Ooh, that's a good one. Dan?
It was going to be dry.
Was it really?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Okay, well, here's the thing.
Beefy has more results than Dry.
That would be insane.
That's what I'm trying to find out. Dry has a whopping, not as many as Barrel, 42,243. Whereas Beefy, that's with a Y, right?
Yeah, with a Y.
Beefie
has 1,105. The first of which...
Frankly, that's more than you all thought it would be.
That is more.
Yeah.
The first is Sir Beefy, which I like. That's from
nice.
Blaze Brewing Company.
I would like
Hold
to.
on. Breaking news.
I would just like to tell you that Beefy with an IE has 14,342.
No, I hate the internet so much. I hate the internet so much.
Still less than Dry,
How
though.
much
Still less
Dry
than
at 40-something thousand.
It was like 42,000. Yeah.
Okay, so if Beefy IE came close, let's say I did Beefy IE, so it's 14,000. Dan, you need to beat Beefy
I gotta pick another word then. Oh God, I don't know.
I can't believe. Yeah, there's 14,000 with I. What's so weird?
I know a word that'll actually win the game. Jesus Christ!
I thought Dry was the word, but they both thought of it.
Oh,
I'm running out of room to write this stuff.
I don't know. What other
What
words are
word
there?
would be dry?
Pale.
I would argue that could be a beer
Borderline
word.
Is that a
It's
beer
a
word,
style.
though?
Pale ale is a style, so
Oh,
I'm gonna
and
veto that one.
Dry hop.
well,
Dry
that's true.
is
Like
just
Dry Irish Stout is a style.
That's
as
why
well.
I said dry, because it fits many.
Yeah, you're splitting hairs here. Pale lager,
Well, I was
pale
going to say
ale.
hop
Yeah.
or hop, but that's a beer word.
How about an animal?
An animal?
Iguana.
Ethan saying iguana.
I mean, you already had unicorn. Camel.
Camel.
saying
That's a good one.
Camel.
I bet camel gets in the 40s. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like dog or cat or bear.
Well, which one?
I mean,
Lions and tigers.
oh, see,
Cat.
I was going to
All
say
right.
bear is probably a good one.
All right. So, this is now the only question in the game that matters. Whoever gets this one. Ethan said iguana.
Yeah.
I am curious about that. I'm sure I spelled it right. Iguana. Yeah. Okay. 10,268. Not a bad.
Goddamn right.
That's
goddamn right.
that's better than I would have thought.
Not a bad
By
showing
about
on
10,000.
Dan said
Correct.
camel.
Bear.
All my romantic partners have said that too.
Oh God!
And then I would have thought, you know.
Dan, you came up short. 5,348
Damn
for
it!
camel.
Damn it!
Cat's going to be up there, though. And also, the thing is, any word that contains the 3 consecutive letters CAT is going to come up in this.
Oh fuck!
Duh.
Wait, why?
I'm not stupid. I know how
Because that's how it searches.
I know how searches work.
Yeah.
That's why I said dry.
I tried putting it in quotes, but then that fucked up some other things. There's not an advanced enough search on Untappd because there doesn't need to be. However, cat, I'm going to give Steph the victory because cat has 39,694
Very
results.
nice. I'm kind of
So
curious.
with that bonus point,
I'm kind of curious. Bear. How many does bear have? Because that was another one
See.
Steph said.
man, bear pig. 26,917.
All right.
I beat you guys even with my backup result.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Dana searched man and it has 85,000 results.
Oh man.
Wow. Barrel
That
was
is-
still the
man
highest
is
that I
an
got.
animal.
This is true. The most dangerous animal.
Yeah, there's not enough time in the evening to have that conversation.
You guys ever think about hunting a human being? Like the most dangerous game, you know? Like if you had the opportunity to hunt like a human being, would you do it?
Depends on who and what the repercussions would be.
Probably not.
Nameless person, you have no idea. There's zero repercussions, but you know nothing about the person.
Nah, I got nothing.
I'd feel
against
bad
them.
hunting an animal. Why would I hunt a human?
To eat.
Rage.
I mean, I'd feel bad afterwards.
To eat? Dan, did you say to eat?
Here's the thing
Yeah.
about eating a person. What if you like it? What if it's the best meat you ever had in your fucking life?
I would try a bite of human flesh.
But what happens if it's the best meat you ever had in your life?
I'd be like, wow, too bad I can't eat that every day.
Now you have a craving for people meat, you know?
So now I'm just a zombie.
I don't know where I found this information, but apparently human flesh tastes like pork.
Yeah, I don't like pork that much, so I'm all right. I'm safe.
We still have some housekeeping for the game to do. So Steph won with the bonus point. I'm going to give her 2 bonus points for that, so she gets an even 10 points. Deanna's 8. Ethan has 5 because he gets 2 bonus points for Beefy. So we're going 5, 8, and 9 of the results. But more importantly, this is the part of the podcast where we shout out to our most generous patrons on Patreon. We would like to thank the following individuals very sincerely, beginning with Jen McDonald.
And I think, oh, look at that cat.
Eric Dixon.
If you look keen, it's a lot.
Dana.
Your podcast is fucking awesome.
James Lambert.
Dan, you loser.
Chris Mahoney.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever let you down.
Sean Sullivan.
You guys can come to my basement anytime.
That was creepy. Brian Mills.
I like the beer, Tonton.
Jill Chivers.
I might have to pee.
The one and only That's No Baloney, Joe Mansell.
I'm a rock solid 5, maybe 6.
Topher Simmons.
Okay, bye.
And finally, Ben Mengel.
Nailed it.
If you want to find out how you get on this list and other cool behind-the-scenes perks, go to patreon.com/beerbusters.
What does your water bottle say? Beefy,
says,
what can I eat?
Linda's Legion.
Oh, the Linda's Legion. Okay.
And then it says Ohana means family.
Yeah, that's the side I saw.
Which I also learned from, what's the movie? Moana? The Disney
Lilo
movie?
and Stitch, bro.
Or Lilo and Stitch, is that the one?
Yeah. Ohana means family.
Yes.
Family means no one gets left behind. I fucking love Lilo and Stitch.
I've never actually seen it.
Oh, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I haven't either.
I've never seen it either.
Never seen Lilo and Stitch. The best one. It's the best Disney movie. It's so good.
I'm gonna pee my pants.
I've also never seen Wall-E, and I know I'm gonna get shit for that.
Oh, I love Wall-E.
Wall-E is
I don't give a fuck
one of my
about
favorite
that.
movies.
Lilo and Stitch is delightful. Fucking Lilo is a disturbed young child. Stitch is an alien that she thinks is a dog that was hit by
Did you
a
say
truck.
disturbed young child?
Yeah, she is. The very first scene, she's like talking about this fish who controls the weather, and she gives the fish sandwiches, you know, and she was late for her dance lesson because she gave the fish sandwiches, and then she got the floor wet because she was playing in the ocean with the fish, and it made all the other girls trip. You know what I mean?
Yep, I think I might.
Yep. That old story. We all know that. We've all been through that.
Lilo and Stitch, dude. Highly recommend.
Tale as old as time.
I have heard it's really good. I've never seen it.
Aren't they doing a live action remake of that like they are with everything else?
I mean,
probably.
I hope not. They fucking better not. How are you gonna make a live action Stitch?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
What a woman gonna make her gay?
they did live action animals in Lion King.
Yeah, but all these aliens, you can't do. There's so many aliens.
They'll
There's
just-
many
Oh, wait,
different.
is there really aliens in Lilo and Stitch?
Well,
Stitch is an alien.
yeah.
It's all about aliens. There's about the Galactic Federation. They can't blow up Earth because it's a endangered species reserve. The mosquitoes are actually secretly a galactic endangered species, and
I
Earth
knew
is
it.
a mosquito reserve, according to the plot of Lilo and Stitch.
I always thought mosquitoes were not of Earth origin.
Yeah, according
They're
to Lilo
alien.
and Stitch. And so this Stitch, who's an unethical genetic experiment, he gets lost in Hawaii on Earth, and they can't blow the planet up to kill the animal because it's a,
Right.
it's a mosquito reserve.
Interesting. How do they feel about all the humans trying to eradicate the mosquitoes on the reserve?
They view humans as a pretty primitive species. You can't really do a whole lot.
Fair.
They're very delicate. They say every time an asteroid hits the planet, life has to start all over. They're very delicate. They make
Yes.
a point of saying that. Yeah.
There's also a lot more mosquitoes than people.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck. The thing is, you turn out later that you find out that one of the protagonists of the movie actually convinced the aliens that mosquitoes are an endangered species so that they'd leave us alone. You see, it's a full circle thing. Lilo and Stitch. It's a delightful.
It's a fucking Kaiser Sose moment right there.
Kind of in a way, yeah. The guy's name is Mr. Bubbles. He's a social worker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good name for a social worker.
Yeah, he's the one they send in. He's the one they send in when things go wrong, and things have gone very wrong. You got to watch this movie. I'm telling you, Lilo. I can't believe you've never fucking seen Lilo and Stitch.
He's got one last job before retirement.
If you'd like to hear us talk more about Lilo and Stitch, you can become a patron on Patreon, and pay to listen to us talk about this movie with Ethan.
That is very true. As little as $1 a month, patreon.com/beerbusters. You can also, I mean, this is usually where I would ask about Soch, but I can't, which is sad.
Yeah.
Are you never going to do Soch ever again now?
I've deleted Instagram off of my phone.
That's a good move.
Yeah, I've been doing TikTok. I've been watching the videos on TikTok. I find it delightful. I've been getting served a lot of, stand-up comedy, so it's pretty good.
Well, cool. I mean, that's a good mix. Anybody's got to be happy with that.
I've been getting that on Instagram Reels, which is TikTok for old people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's also how I get my TikTok, because I don't know our TikTok login.
Well, you can also follow along with other socials that we are on. We are on Instagram. We are on Threads. We technically are on TikTok. Whether or not we will ever do anything again all depends on if we can recover the password. So there's that.
Why don't we should just I forgot my password, that shit, and then give the password to Ethan.
Did you not do that? I figured you did that.
No, that takes effort.
Yeah,
but I
it's
feel
not
like
really
if
that
we're gonna
important.
make a new password, we should just give it to Ethan.
TikTok is not.
Be in control of our TikTok.
TikTok's not a good platform to post content on. It's only a good platform to watch content.
So there you go.
I mean, someone has to.
There has to be a very large group of people convinced otherwise for it to keep working.
Yes.
Don't examine that too much. This is just my impression.
Well, we're also on Facebook, which we know that has certain connotations with it as well. Facebook, we're Beer Busters Podcast, beerbusterspodcast.com/shop, YouTube, Beer Busters Podcast, and of course the aforementioned patreon.com/beerbusters.
We're also on Threads, where Steph is always talking to people. Yes. I've noticed. So hang out on Threads too.
Did I not say Threads? I meant to say Threads.
You did say Threads.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
I thought you didn't.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I did. He
cool.
did.
Listen to me.
We did. They did.
Someone did.
They're on Threads, guys, in case you didn't catch that. Threads.
Yeah. Thank you, Ethan.
We have to keep saying Threads to prove that we're woke.
Yeah, it can't be on whatever Twitter goes by these days.
I just got a Threads notification.
I'm pretty sure that our queer Beer Busters logo that we will never change is evidence enough that we're woke.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's liberal propaganda, guys. Don't believe it.
But I want to believe.
No. Stay on Twitter.
Okay, even though it's X.
I'm not going to keep trying to make jokes like that because
even though it's X.
Right.
I don't know. I've never been on Twitter a day in my fucking life. I couldn't.
And you are much better for it, believe me.
Yeah, I don't have any social media anymore. I don't do any content creation.
That's good. Live in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it right now, though.
I'm co-creating content with you.
Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
Well, thank you for your co-creation.
And if you've enjoyed this content,
exactly.
go to patreon.com.
Where there is more content.
We need 5 people to donate $1 a month to pay me $5 a month to watch a movie and talk about it with the Beer Busters.
See, there we go. That's a ringing endorsement. Do it so Ethan gets paid.
I love that.
That should be our commercial. Can you isolate that? And then when he says we're going to pay our tab, just play Ethan saying that.
I think I can do that. Oh, damn. Ethan, thanks again for joining us yet again.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. I don't say this. I don't say this lightly. We've gotten to meet a lot of really, really cool people over the years, and you will forever be a top tier cool person that we got to meet and call friend.
I agree. I feel the same way about you guys.
Aww,
you guys are great.
You're too kind.
Ethan, you had us at psychosomatic.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow, what a callback.
Yep, that's a good callback.
I agree with that sentiment. Yep.
Well, I'm excited for whatever comes next for you because I know you are excited for what comes next and that you'll be able to enjoy drinking again. So I will meet you at 2nd District at some point soon.
Hell yeah, let's go hang out.
All right, let's do it. I gotta wait for my gout to pass first because I shouldn't drink while I have gout.
Yeah, get rid of the gout.
Yeah, fucking gout. It's the worst. It is the worst. Well, unfortunately, this does bring us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters, and I forgot how far out of reach this red interface was because I haven't used it to record podcast in like 6 years.
Hey, it made it the whole episode.
A brief blip a minute ago. Oh. But I think it's because I was recording for 2.5 hours straight without pausing and saving. But I digress. Yeah, thanks for listening. We always love having you here. We do it, for us, but we also do it for you. I'm Dan Baker, joined by my co-host, Dan Brewologist.
Steph Hafner.
And the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
Despite what I just said, if you want to leave us a review on your platform of choice, do that for us and the other shows. And we'll see you next time.
But be nice.
Inhale. You're the victim.